That's simply not true. Trump is the only Republican that can beat Biden.
They don't even try and conceal it.
Trump min-maxed his riz. He
He
min-maxed his riz, then his intelligence and wisdom paid for it. So everybody's talking about, Democrat infighting, leftist infighting, because a lot of that's going on right now, what with the election and everything, and also Joe Biden, a.k.a. Genocide Joe, aiding and abetting a genocide over in the Gaza Strip. That being the case, I still think we should vote for him in the presidential election if his only opponent is Trump. But we did just get done looking at Rashida Tlaib and backlash from her statement that we should not vote for Joe Biden in the primary, a statement that I support strongly, by the way. We shouldn't. Next, we have a lady known as Nikki Haley, who hails from the other side of the political aisle, and she gave a speech in Greenville. I'm not entirely sure where that's at. There are a lot of Greenvilles. Apparently, the speech was making the rounds, or at least some parts from it were, and I would just like to take a look at it. I don't know a whole lot about Nikki Haley. I do know that she wants a few weird things, like she wants to raise, from what I've heard, she wants to raise the retirement age to 70 from 65, and she wants to repeal Social Security. Basically, she just wants to instill Ancapistan, is what it comes down to. So let's see what she has to say in her little speech right here.
Thank you all for being here. It's another great day in
It's such
South
a weird
Carolina,
effect. What's going on?
And we're hoping for an even better day on Saturday. Early voting is underway. I have a quick reminder.
Now, Nikki Haley did pretty good not in Iowa. I forget which one. I call it tin can reverb. She did really good in one of the primaries. I think it was I don't remember which one. But anyway, she did pretty good in one of the primaries. Still does not hold a candle to Trump. Make no mistake, she's not winning anything. She's Nikki Haley. She's not Trump. So she's not winning anything. But she is doing better than people anticipated. So my guess is that they're trying to make her the new DeSantis, But just enough people are not getting on board. So weird seeing sunlight on the screen when it's dark outside for me. Yeah, time zones are weird. She believes in lost cause, too. I'm not sure what that is. You'll have to explain. They need to just hire me to do these events. This audio's cooked. I know, it's really weird.
All South Carolinians.
It's fine.
In a general election, you're given a choice. In a primary, you make your choice.
That is true.
Make sure you make the right choice. Make your voices heard. Today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. Some of you, perhaps a few of you in the media, came here today to see if I'm dropping out of the race.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not.
Lost cause, i.e. the North aggression argument for the Civil War. Oh, it's the Civil War. Yeah. No, she's saying that she said before that the Civil War wasn't about slavery. Or when asked directly what it's about, she could not answer slavery. Which, by the way, 3 hours of this whole thing was just staring, 258:31, was just oh, I guess somebody else spoke, but it was just staring at this the entire time. What the f is going on?
In a general election, you're given a choice. In a primary, you make your choice.
Still true.
Make sure you make the right choice. Make your voices heard. Today, tomorrow, and on
even
Saturday.
Trump could say it.
Some of you, perhaps a few of you in the media, came here today to see if I'm dropping out of the race.
Oh.
Well, I'm not.
Oh. Slay queen. Slay, my robotic queen. Slay. The androids have arrived.
Far from it. And I'm here to tell you why. I'm running for president because we have a country to save.
Bye, Owl.
Since the start of my campaign, I've been focused on the real issues our country faces. The ones that determine whether America will thrive or spiral out. I'm talking about the millions of students who don't know how to read or do basic math.
Or work deep fryers. Make them work more deep fryers.
The families who can't afford groceries,
deep
much
fryer
less
class.
A first home. The total lawlessness on our southern border. I'm talking about the murders in our cities, the fentanyl on our...
What lawlessness do they ever refer to? They refer to drugs, I guess, but most drugs comes from white people, right? Like it's not peddled in. It's like made here, isn't it? I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the case.
Streets, the children who've been
and
killed
violent
in their
crime's been
mom's
going down
car
for years. Yeah.
by stray bullets.
Here's the thing about violent crime. It has been on a decline. Like it was on a decline up until 2020. It went up a little bit during 2020, and now it's on the decline again. And that's because 2020 is the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus COVID. But anyway, yeah, they always fearmonger about this because people only go off of what they see in media. And so if they're seeing a lot of crime, which is what they're going to see because it's the news, then they're just going to assume that like crime is everywhere. And so conservatives can just latch onto this narrative with absolutely no evidence or anything that like anything is out of the ordinary.
And I'm talking about the American weakness that led to wars in Europe and the Middle East and the urgent need to restore our strength before war spreads and draws America further in.
Oh boy.
These are the challenges I'm here to tackle. But instead of
my fascist radar is ringing off the chain, man.
Focusing on how to make America stronger tomorrow, some people want to know if I'm going to cave today.
Do it, cave.
We've all heard the calls for me to drop out.
Me, smile.
We all know where they're coming from. The political elite, the party bosses, the cheerleaders in the commentator world. The argument is familiar.
Them.
They say I haven't won a state. That my path to victory is slim. They point to the primary polls and say I'm only delaying the inevitable.
It's true.
Why keep fighting when the battle was apparently over after Iowa? Look, I get it. In politics, the herd mentality is enormously strong. A lot of Republican politicians have surrendered to it. The pressure on them was way too much. They didn't want to be left out.
She will strip Social Security, whether you like it or not.
Of course, many of the same politicians who now publicly embrace Trump privately dread him. They know what a disaster he's been.
That's probably true.
And will continue to be for our party.
She is correct there, by the way. Like the people like openly supporting Trump, a lot of them like privately hate him because of all like the optics disaster that he's become.
They're just too afraid to say it out loud.
That is also true.
Well, I'm not afraid to say the hard truths out loud. I feel no need to kiss the ring.
I'm not going to get over that robot effect. It's a good filter. It's fun.
I have no fear of Trump's retribution.
I respect it.
I'm not looking for anything from him. My own political future is of zero concern. So I hear what the political class says, but I hear from the American people too. I've heard from a retired Army medic who looked evil in the eye.
I wonder what that medic wanted. Do you think that he wanted A, more health care, B, to work over the age of 65, or C, to get his Medicaid reduced? Which one do you think that he wanted?
When he says we're headed toward disaster, that American lives are on the line, he knows what he's talking about. He knows we can't afford more of the same. That's why he told me to give him hell.
This is so boring. She's like moderately charismatic, but like, I don't know. It does not hit the same as Trump. It can't.
I've heard from a mom who promised to email me every day, and she does. She just wants a return to normalcy.
Which is what?
She wants me to keep running for the sake of her 4-year-old son.
What does that mean?
She hopes he'll see the, quote, America she grew up in. An America that's strong and proud and united.
This is just fascist rhetoric. They're just gesturing at like a time when America was strong and whatever. And it's like, no, you never thought America was like that. When did you think that America was like that? When we were fighting for civil rights? No. When we were fighting the Nazis? No. When we were, I don't know, what else? We can go back and back. Like you hate America. You always have hated America. You just gesture back and back and back at a time that never actually existed, okay? Things were not good for most Americans most of the time during our history. It's never been good. It's just been less sucky at some point.
And I've heard from a high school student who just last week came to hear me speak. She asked me to sign a note to her teacher explaining her absence.
Okay.
After growing up amid the chaos and anger of the last few years, she finally has hope.
That's really tacky to ask a politician to sign your note so that you don't have to go to gym class. By the way, if my student came to me with a note from Nikki Haley saying that she missed gym class, I'm giving her an F.
America will make it if
Don't give
we
a shit.
make the right
You should have been in
choice.
gym class, dumbass.
I'm constantly hearing from Americans like these, hundreds a day, thousands a week, and hundreds of thousands since I declared my candidacy. They see the same polls as me, but more importantly, they have the same belief as me.
I have to speed this up.
They believe in America. They believe America can do so much better, that we must do better. And they know when the country's future is on the line, you don't drop out. You keep fighting. In fact, you fight harder than ever.
Okay, yeah, America used to be great. We must fight harder, we must fight harder, we must fight harder. But for what? To what end? Like, you keep saying the same shit over and over. It doesn't mean anything. Her chip's failing, yeah.
That's why I refuse to quit.
The Matrix
South
is
Carolina will vote
shuddering.
on Saturday. But on Sunday, I'll still be running for president. I'm not going anywhere.
I wish you would. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. Bye.
I'm campaigning every
At least
day
Trump
until
is
the
cool.
last person votes. Because I believe in a better America and a brighter future for our kids.
You know something Trump has that she doesn't? Mugshot. Dubsy, throw it up on the screen. Look at my boy over here. What a beautiful man. Love you. Love you, you beautiful man.
Nothing good in life
Not like this
comes
wretch.
easy. I'm willing to take the cuts, the bruises, and the name calling.
Oh, she'll take all the cuts. She will take all the tax cuts she can get, baby.
Because the only way you get to the blessing is by going through the pain. Dropping out would be the easy route. I've never taken the easy route. I've been the underdog in every race I've ever run. I've always been David, taking on Goliath. And like David, I'm not just fighting someone bigger than me.
You can't just say, like, I'm David, and I'm running against Goliath. Like, you sound so pretentious, man.
I'm fighting for something bigger than myself. I'm used to people questioning my intentions. So I'll
Also, me, my, I. Like, what are you talking about? When you hear a good politician speak, you use plural pronouns, plural possessive, okay? Plural first person, I should say. Our, okay? We are fighting. Our country, our nation, our plan, okay? What is this first person? Yeah, pronouns. If they had simply learned pronouns in school, maybe they could give better speeches.
few things clear. Some people used to say I was running because I really wanted
It
to
is
be
the easy
vice
route, being a
president.
GOP person.
I think I've pretty well settled that question.
What question?
Some people used to say I was running because I really wanted to be vice president.
No, that ain't happening now.
I think I've pretty well settled
I'll hand her
question.
that. I will hand her this. Here's what I will say about Nikki Haley. She did one thing very well, and I've said this before. She did the only thing that no other candidate was willing to do, and that's rail against Donald Trump. And that's the only shot that anybody had of beating Donald Trump. There are a few problems. One, Nikki Haley's not nearly charismatic enough. Two, Nikki Haley did not rail against him nearly hard enough. Three, Nikki Haley's a woman. Straight up, like, that's the biggest issue you have right there. Okay, I'm sorry, a woman's not beating Donald Trump. It's not happening. But, once again, she had the only winning strategy. The only one. And it shows. So kudos for that.
Other people say I'm trying to set up a future presidential run.
I believe
How does that even work?
How does that work? If the conservatives win, then she doesn't have to run because there will be no more democracy. If the Democrats win, she won't be able to run because the GOP will be dead.
If I was running for a bogus reason, I would have dropped out a long time ago. The rest of the fellas already did that. They have their own plans. I don't judge them, but I'm still here.
She's saying nothing.
I'm fighting for what I know is right.
Which
And I
is
don't care
what?
the party leaders and political elites want. I'll keep fighting until the American people close the door.
On what?
That day is not today, and it won't be on Saturday. Not by a
That's
long
what happens when you have to pad out your essay with a few thousand more words, man. Come on, spit it out. What's your point?
Presidential primaries have barely begun. Just 3 states have voted.
Yeah, got it.
3. That's it. After this
Yeah,
weekend,
rail
we'll
against
be at
Trump
4.
more.
That's not a lot. In the 10 days
Tell me
after
what a
South
big
Carolina,
orange sweaty
another
mess he is.
21 states and territories
Call him fat.
will vote.
I usually don't like
People
fat
have
jokes.
a right
I'll take it here.
to have their voices heard.
Literally anything.
And they deserve a real choice, not a Soviet-style election where there's only one candidate and he gets 99% of the vote.
What?
People have a right to have their voices heard. And they deserve a real choice, not a Soviet-style election where there's only one candidate and he gets 99% of the vote.
What is she referring to here? Is she referring to Trump or Biden? Maybe only 1% was you, Nikki? Sorry, my brain's a little soup right now. Trump and her? Okay, gotcha. Okay, she has been talking about Trump this whole time, so probably Trump, yeah.
We don't anoint kings in this country. We have
true.
elections. And Donald Trump, of all people, should know we don't rig elections.
She's not wrong on that. The things she says against and about Donald Trump are completely correct.
Americans
I'll give her
of
that.
every belief and background are tired of our national mess. They don't want more chaos and craziness. They worry about a national collapse. If I weren't in the race, we'd be reading the exact same storyline every day until November 5th. There would be widespread reports of Americans suffering from a bad case of Biden-Trump fatigue. And it would be true.
No, she is literally like Femme Mitt Romney. You're right, Guitar Rocker. She's like just Femme Mitt Romney. That's a really good catch. Okay, you know what it is? I got it. She's the libertarian love child of Mitt Romney and Sarah Palin. There you go.
A stunning 70% of the country doesn't want a Biden-Trump rematch. The
And I say
majority
Sarah
of
Palin
Americans
because she's a woman and I'm
don't just dislike
misogynist.
one candidate. They dislike both. As a country, we've never seen such dissatisfaction
That is true, by
with
the
the
way.
leading candidates. We've never had so many Americans mired in pessimism and division.
Also
we
true.
still have a chance to restore their faith. I will fight as long as that chance exists. Now, I
white
know
women
what
look all
Donald
the
Trump is
same.
saying. He wants an election with no opponent. But
That
that's
includes
not
you,
what the
trans
voters
women.
are saying. Despite being a de facto incumbent, Donald Trump lost 49% of the vote in Iowa. In New Hampshire, Trump lost 46% of the vote.
Okay, but like he still won 51% of it. That's still like leaps and bounds better than any other candidate did. Like what? How did he do in 2016? Curious. Iowa caucus 2016 election results. Yeah, Ted Cruz cruising at 27.6%. Donald Trump only got 24.3%. I'd say he's doing pretty good. You know, like what do you mean only 51%?
That's not good. We're talking about almost half of our voters. What does it say about an incumbent who's losing nearly half of his party?
That doesn't make any sense. That's how the caucus works.
It spells disaster in November. We shouldn't silence those voters like Trump wants. They have the right to keep speaking out.
True suck.
Trump sees this. That's why he and his allies are now trying a different tack. They're saying, I'm helping Joe Biden by staying in. Let's unpack that for a second.
Wait, what?
First things first.
That
Joe
doesn't make
Biden
any
is doing
sense.
more damage to himself than any Republican ever could.
That is, unfortunately, a very good point. Gotta give her that one.
Every time he opens his mouth, he sounds like his mind is closing up shop. The
They're not gonna say anything about the real reason why, though.
Democrats are getting weaker by holding a coronation for Biden. Republicans will get stronger through a vigorous competition.
You know what would make you stronger? Advocate for some good policy. Hey, I would absolutely switch to Republican tomorrow if I thought that a Republican would be more progressive than Joe Biden. But that's not the case, right? Like if they actually advocated for some good economic policy, maybe I'd consider them. Has anybody ever actually thought about that? Like if Republicans came forward with some good fucking policy, I'd consider them. But they simply don't. They don't care. All right? Neither do the Dems, but at least they have to pretend to care. She still hasn't brought up anything policy related. That's a great catch again. You're on it today, Guitar Rocker. Very good. Yeah, she said nothing so far.
We have plenty of time to hash this out. If the race ended today, we would have the longest general election in history. There are still 8.5 months before Election Day. Do we really want to spend every day from now until November watching America's two most disliked politicians duke it out? No sane person wants that. But there's another reason Trump is wrong.
I really don't think that she would beat Biden, though.
At the end of the day, the only candidate who's helping Joe Biden is Donald Trump.
Yeah, Nikki and Trump.
Because Trump is the only Republican Biden can beat. The Democrats know it.
That's simply not true. Trump is the only Republican that can beat Biden. There might be a few others. Like, I don't know, maybe Ted Cruz could pull it off. Maybe Greg Abbott. But, like, Ron DeSantis never had a chance in hell. Like they're just not charismatic enough.
They don't even try and conceal it.
Trump min-maxed his riz.
The glee at the prospect.
He min-maxed his riz, then his intelligence and wisdom paid for it.
Of running against Trump. They want to win. So they want the guy they've already beaten time and again. Trump knows it too.
Riz over whiz.
But he won't admit it. True to form, he's taking out his anger on others. He's getting meaner and more offensive by the day. He's trying to bully me and anyone who supports me.
The last thing the conservatives want is for their candidate to be really mean and rude. They've been screaming, please, Trump, please, calm down with how mean you are, right? That's a thing.
He says they'll be barred from MAGA permanently. That's not the way you win elections. Well, I've dealt with bullies my entire life. They don't intimidate me. They only motivate me further. And I've never met a bully I couldn't take on.
Just say anything. What are your policy positions? I honestly watched this because I thought, hey, maybe this is a good chance to learn about what Nikki Haley is about, what she brings to the table. You know, what awful deeds she has in store for the off chance in whatever universe this might happen that she beats Trump. You know, that'd be nice. It'd be nice to know the alt universe version where Nikki Haley has a shot in hell against Trump, but we're not getting that.
There are those who will try and paint me
I can't believe I'm
as
sped
never
up, by
Trump.
the way.
That's not who I am.
I almost want to speed
Never
it up
have
more.
been. I supported Trump in 2016 and in 2020. I was proud to serve America in his cabinet.
Okay.
My purpose has never been to stop Trump at all costs. Like most Americans, I have a handful of serious concerns about the former president. But I have countless serious concerns about the current president. Okay. Joe Biden has turned our country upside down.
Because of immigration, right? Say it. Say he opened the border. Say he's letting the brown people flood in. The brown people are coming for the suburbs, guys. You don't understand. They're gonna take your wife and daughter. You know, they're gonna shove fentanyl into your local cop's vehicle and cause him to spontaneously combust. Right? No, go on, please.
It's not normal for millions of migrants to illegally cross our border without
There it is.
stopped.
See? Called it.
It's not normal for our schools to be more focused on gender pronouns than reading and math. It's not.
Once again, if you had actually learned some pronouns, you would use we, us pronouns, okay? We, us, our country, our policies, our nation. We will do it. We will succeed. We, okay? It's pronouns. This is effective rhetoric 101. Learn it.
Normal to have skyrocketing prices and soaring crime. And it's not normal.
There's no soaring crime.
To have wars raging in Europe
it's not happening.
and the Middle East. All of that.
The cake is a lie.
On Joe Biden. But he's not the only one.
Now, what'd she say about the Middle East? I missed it.
And soaring crime. And it's not normal to have wars raging in Europe and the Middle East.
Okay, first of all, that second one is not true, okay? The war in the Middle East has been going on since like the 60s. And I'm sure there's been conflict there before that. I know there has been. I'm not very good at history, but I know for a fact there has been. As far as like the war in Europe, that's really not the United States' fault. Okay? Like nothing we did or could have done caused that or stopped that. You know? Like it just is what it is. And so we're helping Ukraine. And I think that's good.
All of that is on Joe Biden. But he's not the only one who's replaced normalcy with chaos. Donald Trump has done that too. It's not normal to insult our military heroes and veterans.
Wait, when did he do that? Did he insult our veterans? I don't think Biden ever did that. She just keeps saying the bad things that Biden is doing and the bad things that Trump's doing because she knows that her policies suck ass. All she's telling me here is that is don't look at my policies. Please don't look at my policies. They're bad. They're the bad ones. Go look over there. Go avert your eyes. Pay not attention to the woman behind the screen, behind the curtain. She's only an illusion. She is not raising the age of retirement to 70. She's not striking Social Security from the table. Pay no mind. They're bad, not me.
It's not normal to spend $50 million in campaign contributions on personal court cases. It's not normal to threaten people who back your opponent. And it's not normal to call on Russia to invade NATO countries. Donald Trump has done all of that.
That is true as well.
And more in just the past month.
I don't know. I kind of support my queen here. She's like saying a lot of shit that Trump has done. She's airing it. She's airing Trump's faults. You know what? Critical support.
Look, I've said it many times. I think Donald Trump was the right president at the right time.
Yeah, we're finally on some policy-related discussion, so we can kind of glean some of the things that she believes, like that Ukraine should get the aid, if anybody, definitely not Russia, though, so that's good at least. You know, like there shouldn't be wars going on, obviously, like who doesn't believe that? But like we're still not getting anything that she does want to actually do. They're all negatives, you know? They're all, I won't do this. I won't do that. I won't do this. Okay, well, what will you do? You know, that's what I'd like to know.
But times change, and so has Trump. He's gotten more unstable and unhinged. He spends more time in courtrooms than he does on the campaign trail. He refuses to debate. He's completely distracted, and everything is about him. He's so obsessed with his own demons from the past, he can't focus on delivering a future Americans deserve.
True queen.
We have two hugely flawed candidates in Biden and Trump. Americans know it. They've been saying it for years, and we all know why. Trump and Biden are two old men who are only getting older.
Conservatives do hate debate.
Nearly 60% of Americans say Trump and Biden are both too old to be president, because they are. We've all seen them fumble their words and get confused about world leaders. That's not who you want in the Oval Office when Russia launches a nuclear weapon at our satellites or China shuts down our electricity grid. We're talking
okay.
about the most demanding job in human history. You don't give it to someone.
China can just do that, apparently.
You give it to.
We got the Chinese leader, whatever their name is, with his hands on the switch, and it's just labeled like American electricity, and he's like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You better do what I say." And then everything just goes off. My live stream cuts. Cut the feed. The electricity's gone out. The Chinese got their way. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, that guy.
Someone who's disciplined. Someone who can work
Winnie the
day
Pooh
and
with his
night
big
for
mittens.
8 straight years. No vendettas. No.
I could go for the smackaroo of honey. Oh, is it behind this big switch? No, pray. Wait, don't.
Drama. Just results.
Smackaroo.
Even if Trump and Biden weren't too old,
Xi Jinping, yeah, that guy.
Americans still oppose them because they know what they'll do. They've already done tremendous damage, and they're just getting started. Biden has crippled families with years of inflation. He's put welfare over work and doled out more corporate welfare than any president ever. Meanwhile, Trump added more to the national debt than any president in history.
True.
And it wasn't because of COVID, no matter how many times he tries that excuse. Now he wants to put a 10% tax hike on every single American.
Let her cook.
Just like Biden, Trump will devastate families and destroy good-paying jobs.
Wait, I don't think Trump's going for any tax hikes. You'd have to substantiate that. I could be wrong.
We need to shift our economy into overdrive, not reverse.
Yeah, and guess how you do that? Want to know how you do that? Give normal people money. Not rich people. Give normal people money.
Most importantly, we need a president who protects America. Biden has failed this basic duty. As commander-in-chief, he tried to cut the military. He's made us weaker while our enemies get stronger. He withdrew from Afghanistan in a way that encouraged our enemies to do whatever they want. 3 years later, Russia has invaded Ukraine. Hamas has murdered Israeli women and children in their beds. China is launching unprecedented cyber attacks on American infrastructure. Iran is killing American soldiers.
What is China doing to American infrastructure? Like, I know they're spying, but they always have been, you know? Like
At the same time,
that's the thing
Donald Trump has plenty of his own problems on national
Everyone
security.
spies on us.
He's all but said he's going to abandon Ukraine. That's a massive gift to Vladimir Putin.
That's true.
Now Trump is inviting Putin to invade
Critical
NATO
support.
Those are the same countries that stood with us after September 11th. Of course we should ask them to pay more. We should demand it. But abandoning them will only bring more war. Putin is already planning his next move.
Have we counted how many shots she's fired? It doesn't matter. She's not going to win.
He's eyeing
She's
our
not beating
allies in
Trump.
the Baltics. A Russian attack would put America at war.
All she's doing, frankly, is splitting the party apart further. Like, there are going to be people who like Nikki Haley over Trump because there are people who have just never liked Trump, you know? And even the people who have liked Trump, are moving away from him because if he's a fucking optics risk. So they've been trying to dump resources into Nikki Haley, and it's their Hail Mary. She is their Hail Mary. She's the last try before you finally concede and throw in the Trump towel, right? Fine, just grab the orange sweaty one and just throw it in. Whatever. Fine, we'll try, I guess. But they really want Nikki Haley.
Russia isn't the only country that smells blood in the water. When the dictators in Iran, North Korea, and communist China see America step back, they rush into the breach. They think America's time has passed, and their time has come. The truth is, Americans already know what Joe Biden and Donald Trump will do. But we're just as concerned with who they are. They're dividers at a time when America desperately, urgently needs a uniter. All they do is turn us against each other. Trump calls his fellow Americans vermin. Biden calls his fellow Americans fascist.
Yeah, because some of them are. Those are not comparable, you centrist prick.
And don't just demand that people pick sides. They demand that their followers hate the other side. Look,
there is such a difference between calling somebody vermin and calling somebody a fascist. One of them is a political implication, which you can support with evidence. The other one is simply an ad hom, all right? It can be a quite dangerous one as well. Hitler literally called his political opposition vermin and shit. He dehumanized, all right? At least when I call fascists vermin, I say you can revoke your vermin status by no longer being a fascist. I used to be a vermin, okay? I used to be a tick. I was never full fash, but I was pretty close to Christian ethno-nationalism. All right. Those were my talking points at one point. Now that was a long time ago. That was even before college. All right. I was a stupid kid raised by stupid parents that I love very dearly. I love you guys, but you did raise me like that. Okay. Let's be real.
That's gotten us. Congress is too divided and broken to do its job. Families won't even talk to each other at the dinner table. We're separating into opposing camps that view each other as un-American, if not downright evil. These are dangerous times. The most important thing we can do is regain our focus and shared sense of purpose. The worst thing we can do is become even more distraught and divided.
Please.
The reason I'm running,
what will you do, lady?
The reason I continue to run is to remind everyone what it means to be an American.
Yeah, you're clearly not running to instill any policy.
I'm the proud daughter of legal immigrants. I grew up as a brown...
That's a line. Yeah, so is my dad, okay? My dad's dad came from Germany on a ship and immigrated. And it was very easy because they considered him white, all right? It's not as easy for people who aren't considered white or who come from across the border and from South America and all that, from Mexico, all right? It's not easy. And it's empty platitudes. Yeah, exactly.
In a black and white world. I saw our state move beyond hatred and elect the first female minority governor in American history as a conservative Republican.
Oh, great. Wait, she's a minority? Fuck off with that. She's white passing as shit. Fuck off. No, you're not.
And in just a few days, my parents are going to cast their vote for their daughter for President of the United States.
Okay, yes, fascists are still human. I call them vermin because they act like vermin. Okay, if you want me to stop calling you vermin, stop acting like you're a cockroach. Be a normal person.
I've thought this week about what that means to them, but I know what it says about our country. In the America I know and love, we disagree strongly, but we do it without hating each other. And still have to
speak for yourself, okay? If I'm disagreeing with somebody who thinks that 13-year-old sexual assault victims should be forced to give birth, then yeah, I hate that person. I hate that person, okay? Because the alternative is being okay with that. So no thanks. I'm not okay with that, actually. I hate that person.
Same shared national purpose. In the America I know...
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't hate that person. I hate that person's beliefs. Okay? And I will express my hatred of their beliefs as such. All right? But I don't hate that person because I believe that that person can change. I believe that that person can grow and get better and be reformed. All right? So I don't hate that person. I may hate that person now, but I don't hate the existence of that person. I simply wish for that person to get better. Okay? So I take it back. You know what? The hatred is for the ideas. My love is for people. And I simply want fascists and people who believe that 13-year-olds should be forced to give birth. I simply want them to get better. That's all. I hate what they believe. Yes.
And love. We respect freedom, the rule of law. We refuse to use the awesome power of big government to punish those we dislike. And we recognize that America
Yes,
has
vote
done
in
more
local
good
elections.
for more people than any country in the world. It's not America first to withdraw from the world. It's not America first to praise dictators who want to kill Americans. It's not America first to bankrupt Social Security by doing nothing to fix it.
Well, wait, I thought you wanted to roll it back. Here, wait, what's her policy? Instead of me just like spouting that, let's look up her actual stated policy. Nikki Haley wants to reform Social Security and Medicare. Donors are paying attention. Courage for advocating changes to an entitlement. Here it is. A top official in the influential political network associated with billionaire Charles Koch praised the former UN ambassador's courage for advocating changes to, quote, an entitlement system that makes promises it can't keep. Other establishment figures who have backed Haley or are taking a second look at her candidacy cite shoring up the nation's ailing Social Security system as a key priority and view her stance as an advantage over her rivals. We need a complete reevaluation of entitlements. Ken Langone, the billionaire co-founder of Home Depot. Yes. Oh, let's listen to what the billionaire co-founder of Home Depot, right, has to say about entitlements. Yeah, what the hell is a guy like me doing getting $3,500 a month from the government? That's outrageous. I shouldn't get a nickel. Yeah, great question. Okay, give it back. Give it back. No. You go give it back now. What are you talking about? Go give it back then. You have the power to do that. Just go give it back. You. Well, I shouldn't really be getting this money. Okay, go give it back. Go on. Haley has called for several changes to the nation's safety net programs, including increasing the age at which today's younger workers would become eligible for Social Security retirement benefits and limiting the growth of the benefits the wealthy receive. So yeah, she is trying to basically just cripple Social Security. She keeps saying like she's going to reform it. No, what she means is she's going to cripple it.
Fact, it's America last to keep losing one election after another to the socialist left. That's what we
I hate
get
these people
with
for
Donald
real.
Trump.
It's easy to hate them. They make it easy.
I'm running for president to restore a country that's strong and proud. That is why I will stay in the race
pay your
after
damn
South
taxes.
Carolina votes. And to my beloved fellow South Carolinians, I ask that you stand with me. Stand with your family, friends, and neighbors. See the America I see. And remember that we can still unite and move forward together. Not with anger, not with fear, but with faith and hope, like we've done before. Let's finally leave the past behind, and let's forge a new American future.
Is she done?
This vision has guided every generation. It summoned me to serve as governor of this great state and as ambassador for the greatest country in the world. And that same vision called my husband to serve in the uniform of the United States. He's a major in the South Carolina Army National Guard. As I prepare for what lies ahead, Michael is at the forefront of my mind.
I don't care about Michael. Oh, shut up. Really? That's getting applause. Okay. She's not even crying, man. She's not crying. She's like, she's just happy. She's like, I'm glad that dick's gone. Jesus Christ. Now I can finally go out with Chad. Chad promised me some spaghetti. She just sounds like a slimy politician. Yes. Maybe she should tell her voters not to attack me or my trans siblings if she really wants to move forward. You would think, yeah, 9/11. Woo! Like, Chad said he'd take me out for some nice bruschetta.
I wish
Some
Michael was here
brunch.
today. And I wish our children.
Then we go back and he rails me.
And I could see him tonight, but we can't. He's serving
She's literally not crying. She's literally not. Like, this is all just voice inflections.
side of the world, where conflict
I don't
is the
buy
norm,
it.
where terrorists hide among the innocent, where Iran's terrorist proxies are now attacking American troops. This is Michael's second deployment. It was hard for us to say goodbye to him the first time when he deployed to Afghanistan. It was even harder last summer when he deployed to Africa.
Yeah, why is he there? For what purpose? That's a great question. If I could ask Nikki Haley a question, I'd say, hey, what is your husband fighting for? What's he fighting for? Oh, our freedom? Who's threatening our freedom? Who? Oh, Iran? Oh, okay. I haven't heard of Iran, like, sending anybody over. What, are they invading? Oh, they're not invading. Oh, we're just there to, collect resources and shit. To milk their country dry. Right. That's what he's fighting for. Right. F your husband then, Like,
Every
fuck him.
military family knows.
And by
when
the
a
way,
loved one deploys,
I don't usually say that about our veterans because I know that you got to have a job and sometimes the veteran program is just like the way to go, et cetera, et cetera. Like none of that. But it is true that if you are part of the American military, one of the things you fight for is the extraction of resources from other countries. That is simply an unavoidable fact. So you do what you got to do as an individual. But when you sit there and brag about how I was part of the United States government fighting to make sure that the Iranians didn't have none of their resources left. It's like, okay, good for you, man. You know what my friends did it for? They did it so they didn't starve to death.
Start the year-long prayer. It's a prayer for their safety more than anything else. But it's also a prayer of gratitude. The kids and I know why Michael went. He stepped up to keep us safe. And not just us.
Yes,
he
Debbie,
stepped up to
exactly.
defend our nation's freedom and our way of life. Michael is fighting for the country he loves. So are...
But by the way, yeah, good point, Lady Nova. Her husband is not on the front lines. If you think that her husband's on the front lines, I got news for you. Like, I could be wrong about this, but I'd be very surprised if her husband were actually on the front lines. That is insane. There's no shot, right? No shot. Like, her husband has a office job in the military. There's no way. Sorry I'm late, what I missed. Just a lot of waffling. You didn't miss anything.
His brothers and sisters in arms wherever they're stationed in this dangerous world. They have made their stand because America is worth fighting and even dying for. Now I will continue to make my stand because America is worth living for. Thank you. God bless you. God bless South Carolina, and God bless America.
Yeah. That was the most pointless speech I've ever seen. It's just, like, it wasn't uncharismatic. Like, she has more charisma, for instance, than the Sanctimonious, right? Like, she has more charisma than that motherfucker. But, like, she's still, like, she didn't say anything. It's all just fascist propaganda, and, like, she's shilling for the fascists, basically, is what she's doing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to take a dap and start folding clothes then? All right. Well, you have fun with that. I unfortunately cannot get high right now. I guess I could, but I have boxing tonight. I'd rather not. At least Vivek had something to say. Yeah, Vivek did have something to say. You know, he was cucking himself out to Trump, but at least it was something. She stopped sort of saying we all must be Christians. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was all just like, again, it's all just fascist gesturing to like a better America. A time when there was definitely a better America, bro. I swear, bro. Trust me. Like, there was definitely a time when things were better, and we have to go back to that, right? And that's exactly the same thing they did in Nazi Germany. So, you know, Nikki Haley's not going to win. I'm not worried about it. I'm way more worried about Trump and what he can do against Biden. Once again, I will stress, I think Nikki Haley took the only approach that had any chance of working against Trump, and I commend her for that at least. I don't disagree with her on everything, but I disagree with her on enough. And so therefore, I cast you out. Cast you out, Nikki Haley. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. No presidency for you. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.